Welcome back to another installment of Stand Up. In this video, we're going to be going over number 2 of the 5 fan-made stands of the week, and these are going to be tried to be made every Monday and Friday. In this video, we're going to be going over stands that were randomized on stream. I'm going to be streaming more often, so just in case if I do want to randomize the stands before the stream, subscribe and or turn on notifications. Now, on to number 5. The Night by CJ Hugh. I'm going to guess that's how you say the name. The name, The Night. Appearance: a tall humanoid figure draped in multiple dark robes, face covered by a hood and has black mist surrounding it. Namesake: Disturbed Indestructible's The Night. Ability: can consume all light in a targeted area or can completely shroud the object or enemy in darkness. The user can see in the dark, ability given by the stand, I'm guessing. The stand can consume all the light around a person to make it look like they're walking in a shadow, or can consume the light in front of a person's eyes so they can't see. Any area affected cannot produce any light. For example, if we were to turn on a flashlight in the affected area, it wouldn't work. The stand can shroud up a whole area up to the size of a house in darkness. The stand can only shroud up to 3 things at a time. Weakness: anything that was affected by the stand that leaves its range of 20 meters will no longer be affected by the stand. The stand is a very weak fighter and depends on surprising its foe, but the stand and its user can still be easily tracked by the other senses. For example, someone with great hearing could easily detect where the knight was and can easily force a fight. Stats: this stand has a C in destructive power, a B in speed, a B in range, 20 meters, a C in durability, an A in precision, and a C in potential. On to number 4, Black Emperor by David Marshall. Name: Black Emperor. Appearance: a blob of black matter. Namesake: Godspeed you Black Emperor. Ability: the ability to transform and mimic anything without actually becoming said object. For example, if Black Emperor were to mimic a human, it doesn't become a human, but something that mimics all the functions of a human, including speech or the appearance of breathing, sweating, etc. It also takes on the properties of what it's mimicking. So if it were to mimic a sword, it could be as hard and sharp as a sword. The stand can't perform complex machinery tasks and mimic any technology in any way other than appearance. For example, if it became a flashlight, it can't create light and it would just look like a flashlight. Black Emperor can also separate parts of its mass into smaller pieces without losing any overall mass. So if it mimics a gun, it could shoot a small bullet-like piece of itself and make it travel like how a bullet does, but it's not as fast or as lethal. The bullet is no longer a part of Black Emperor, and the bullet will harden and cannot reattach. Black Emperor has no real strength and cannot kill effectively, but it does have one final power. If Black Emperor encounters another stand, it can block any attack perfectly and immediately assume the shape, strength, and the power of the enemy's stand perfectly. Black Emperor becomes the other stand essentially. If I was to block Star Platinum's punch, it would be as strong and fast and precise as Star Platinum and copies the abilities like Star Finger or Star Platinum the World. It loses its shape-shifting ability, and it also assumes the enemy's weakness as well, with no exceptions. If the enemy user dies or can't summon their stand for some reason, Black Emperor loses access to its power until the enemy can summon their stand again. However, if Black Emperor manages to keep the enemy's power for 20 minutes, it will boost its power. Example: if it holds Crazy Diamond's power for about 20 minutes, it gains the ability to heal its user and a slight overall power increase. This will happen every 20 minutes until the enemy stand loses its power or it's defeated. Stats: because of the stand's nature, it doesn't have any base stats, as they do change to whatever the enemy's stats are. Number 3, Poison Dream by Base Hunter. Name: Poison Dream. Appearance: humanoid with violet skin. His skin has a bit blue shine due to venom, and it doesn't wear much clothing due to venom on the skin, so it only covers the private parts. It's also fully sentient, but it doesn't talk, similar to Star Platinum and Crazy Diamond. Namesake: Poison Dream by the Act of Defiance. Ability: he can slowly release a gas from its skin in an area about 6 meters before it gets too lean. This gas has numbing properties and effects over time. The closer you are, the faster you'll be unconscious. At point blank range, it takes about 25 seconds to kick in. At 6 meters, it takes about 5 to 7 minutes depending on how fast the other person is breathing. Stats: it has a B in power, a B in speed, C in range, but if we're counting abilities, its fighting range is E, C in precision, B in durability, and B in potential. Weakness: if the person stops breathing the gas, it's futile. If the person's wearing a mask, the gas will be way less effective. In regards to the venom on the skin, if some stand is fast like Star Platinum's attacks, he'll be injured before the exposition time and enough to affect the enemy, or if the enemy uses range attacks or per se a sword, the venom won't be of use. On to number 2, Música Ligera Act 1 through 3 by ATS99. and I'm guessing that's how you say música ligera. I'm sorry if I don't know, if I didn't say it correctly. Sorry, I butchered it. Put the actual, how you say it in the chat, in the comments. Appearance. Act 1 looks like a small toy soldier with a drum hanging off of its neck and has gray skin and wears a blue classic toy soldier suit with orange highlights. Its face only has orange eyes and no other elements. Act 2 has the shape of an electric guitar with arms that plays itself. It's blue with orange highlights. Act 3 is fully humanoid shape with a metallic body. All of its body parts are different instruments hidden Let me see. Act 3 has a fully humanoid shape with a metallic body. All of its body parts are different instruments hidden beneath the metal coating it has. The obvious parts are that the arms have holes, which means they're most likely wind instruments, and its teeth are keyboard keys. The rest are hidden all over the body. Its body once again is blue with orange highlights and armor-like plates on its articulations. On its eyes it has sunglasses in the shape of 2 triangles united by one of their corners. Namesake, Música Ligera by Soda Stereo. Abilities, Act 1 through 3. Act 1 grants or removes momentum to anything it touches. How much it's giving depends on the speed of how fast it's playing its drum. It has no real limit to how many things as long as it's within range. Act 2, instead of giving momentum to an inanimate object, it gives them life in a manner very similar to the objects in the movie Fantasia and its wizard segment, but all of them are under its control. Once again, it has no real limit as long as it's within range. Act 3 uses sound waves to hit, push, and cut its target. The main problem is that once it's launched in that direction, it can't be changed. Stand cry, not many people actually do this. Act 1 is the sound of the drum that it carries. Act 2 is the riffs of the guitar on its chest. Act 3 depends on what instrument it's playing at the time, but once it finishes attacking it, it shouts, "Gracias, Totoales." I'm guessing that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I didn't say it correctly. Stats. Act 1 has a C in power, an A in speed, a C in range, an E in durability, B in precision, A in potential. Act 2 has none on power, none on speed, a B in range, a B in durability, none on precision, and an A in potential. Act 3 has an A in power, C in speed, A in range, D in durability, B in precision, and an A in potential. There was this thing where you said the tildes basically cross out the name because it's a joke, but I didn't know what you meant, so I thought you meant like that this is how you made the name for all the stands basically. So you made Act 1 cross out Simply Irresistible and the actual name is Pinball Wizard, and you cross out Fantasia for Act 2 and you actually make it Feel the Noise, and the name for Act 3 is Rock You Like a Hurricane. And for number 1, Kill the Lights by Primaru Presidente? I'm gonna call you Pre. Appearance, didn't leave an appearance description, so there's that. Namesake, Kill the Lights by Set It Off. The stand has the ability to switch the results of actions. Example, if you have a lighter on you and you know exactly where a gun is, you can change the result of the lighter, starting a fire and launching a fireball, but the gun can't shoot more fireballs once it shoots. Or if someone hits the user or the stand while the user can see an inanimate object like a rock for example, Kill the Lights can transfer the damage that was going towards him and send it to the rock. Meaning if you were to punch the stand so hard that it should destroy its ribcage, the stand can transfer that damage right back to you. Stats. It has an A in power, an A in speed, a C in range, a D in durability, an A in precision, and a C in potential. Weaknesses. Can't punch well, and it can't switch the results of the interactions on the same object more than 2 times. If he switches the interactions twice, then he can't use the same object anymore and has to move on to another one. Post-production, no, it can negate the laws of physics. For example, if the user is punching the air and uses its ability, he can switch the reaction to turn the air into string, producing an artificial string, and the string will continue to stay in the air until it's touched. So now I'm going to be going over my reviews for the stands. This one's going to be for the night. I'm pretty sure if you completely cover the person in the shadows, it would still have the same effect because they both get rid of their sense of awareness. And now there would be a difference between removing the light from their eyes and removing the light in general. If you shroud them in darkness, then they can't receive any sunlight to know whether or not they're outside or not. If you're blinded and you were to go outside, I'd say that the area you're still receiving sunlight, you can still feel the sunlight on your skin because it's going to be heating up and all. If you remove that sense too, then the person wouldn't have anything else to go for. Altogether, very interesting stand. Black Emperor, when reading into it, I thought of it as a Black Ditto, then you actually broke it down and really made it its own entity. I can't compare Black Emperor to anything else, probably because I can't think of something, but the fact that it gets stronger the more that it fights with the stand is actually pretty insane. While the enemy is getting worn out, Black Emperor is getting stronger. Now Godspeed to that fight, man, because that would be a very long fight. Poison Dream, even with the description that you gave, expect a couple of comments saying that this stand is basically like Purple Haze, even though there's clear differences between the two. Poison Gas equals Insta Purple Haze for people's perspective. Well, in my opinion, I like the concept of numbing the opponents and having them have a set time limit before they all go numb. Now imagine a fight and being in a specific place where they can't leave, and episode 1 or 2 is circulated on getting it outside of that area before you lose all control of your muscles and your fate is finally set. It can be a really cool momentum stand, and it would be really cool if it was actually a part of the anime too. Música ligera, Act 1 through 3. Same thing with Poison Dream. Sound plus acts equals echoes, even though it really doesn't equal that, and it's just like people being like, oh, okay, this is basically echoes, even though it clearly doesn't have any correlation. Act 1 with the momentum, Act 2 with the reanimation, and Act 3 with the sound waves working as physical acts and all. I actually really enjoy that this comes from a different side of culture. The stand is based on an Argentinian rock band called Soda Stereo, and most stands that I viewed are basically from American artists. I didn't get what you meant by the last thing, so I would like if you commented your reasoning behind it. And I mean, like, I understand that you said it was a joke, and I'm sorry that you had to explain the joke. That means I basically killed it on my part, so if you don't want to do that, that's good, because I'm not for killing the whole concept of the joke and all. I'm sorry about that if I did. Kill the lights. I like the concept of the stand for the most part. If you do send another stand later on, remember to spell check and have an appearance. That you don't generally have to have one, but it's something that people usually like picturing when they think of the stand in general. And for switching the results, I think that would be a pretty crazy ability. I'm not sure of the name of the ability though. I'm pretty sure there's a name for switching the results, but I'm not really sure about the name exactly. Insert something manipulation. I think so. I'm not sure exactly what, but altogether I like the stand too. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. The people that had made their stands will probably be in the comments, and you can talk to them and what's your thoughts about it and all. There's going to be a comment with me with an email where you can go type your stand in and send it over to me. You can also reply to your stand in the comments if you don't want to do that by email. And if you make your art with it, use your way of sending it to put in the comment. You can also send it to me on Twitter, and you can comment it with an Imager link or a DeviantArt link or something like that if that's how you use it. I generally would like if you guys do send it to me by email through the email that I'm putting in the comments, because it's gonna be a way easier way for me to see it. And if like you want if you want a guaranteed way for me to put your stand in the comments, I mean if you guys want an easier way for me to see your stand just in general, if you do email it that way, it's gonna be completely way easier. If it also do it in a way where it's like the name of your stand by your YouTube username. That'd be great if you guys did that like that way. And once you just remember to email me, because it's way easier. If you comment it, I'm gonna see it, hopefully, but sometimes I do miss certain comments because there are so many. Like even right now, I'm going back to the original fan-made stand video, and because there's 300 stands right there already in that one reply thread, and then there's more in the other videos where I have to go all through it, and I'm only one person, so it's pretty hard for me as a whole. So that'd be really good if you guys do email it to me. It'd make a huge difference. But thank you guys for watching. Subscribe and like if you actually like the video, and put your comments in the stand. Put your stands in the comments. There you go. Peace out and Godspeed.